Hi, I'm Kari Aguila. I help out with the middle school musical here at St. John's. We had a Zoom meeting the other night and many of you attended, but I know there was some Zoom snafus and some people were unable to attend. So I just want to get this little video out to you so that everybody's all on the same page as far as the middle school goes. This is my 5th year running the middle school musical at St. John, and I'm very excited. We're doing Frozen Junior this year. It's exciting. And we want as many people to participate as possible. We want as many people to participate as possible. I like that. We do auditions for the middle school students, however, because we need to know kind of where your voice is, what your acting skills are, where your interests lie, because truly not everybody wants to be Elsa or Anna or Olaf. A lot of the students, especially if it's your first time doing it, you kind of want to do the ensemble. You know, you want to be on stage with a lot of other people and singing with a lot of other people, and that's totally cool. So when we audition you, it's a 2-day process, and it'll be Monday and Tuesday, December 4th and 5th, and you have to come the whole time, both days. This is a little different than last year. Last year, once you sung, you could leave. But this year, we're going to teach you some stuff, too. So on Monday, December 4th, you come to the Portables after school. It's from 3 to 5. And you will sing with the whole group. Miss Villanueva will help teach you some of the songs. And then one at a time, you'll come into another portable with me and you'll sing a little song all by yourself. We don't have a piano player. You can just sing it a cappella. If you have a little music on your phone you want to sing along to, that's totally cool, but it is not necessary. And this is not a big stress deal. This isn't like Indina Menzel, right? This is you just singing the way you sing so that I kind of know where you fit in the show. I want just about a minute of singing. So a verse and the chorus. It doesn't have to be a Frozen song, but it can be if you want it to be. And it should be not a lot of stress. You guys hear me sing all the time, so I know you can sing, I can sing, we can all sing. It's great. Singing's fabulous. So that's the Monday part of the audition, sort of the singing part. On Tuesday, we'll meet in Egan Hall from 3 to 5. And on that day, we do what are called sides, where I have some pieces of paper that I give to you, and you just try on different parts. You try on the part of Olaf, and you try on the part of the king or the queen or Anna or Elsa or Kristoff or Sven. And you try on those different parts with different people. And that way we sort of find out kind of who has the best chemistry. Not like romantic chemistry, but like, you know, if you're Kristoff and Sven don't really work together, it sort of doesn't really work for the show. So on that second day, we sort of figure out who really fits into what role. It's really, really important for everyone, the students and for the parents, to help them through this, to understand that like 30 people try out, 30 people can't be Elsa, right? We will pick people to be a part based on not only their auditions, but also the sides and the reading and just kind of how it works out. It's really different every single year. We could have the same show next year and your student might get a different role because of kind of the team that we get next year, right? So disappointment is a big part of auditioning for a play or for an orchestra or for a team sport or for applying to colleges. You know, you don't always get the thing you want. And I'd really love for everybody to try to be okay with that, because it causes a lot of sadness when you want to be one thing and you don't get that part. So different than last year, after the auditions on Monday and Tuesday, December 4th and 5th, by that Friday, I'm not going to put up a sign outside of Pablo's office that says who got what part. I'll email it to you guys Friday evening so that you're in your house, you can see what part you got, you can cry all weekend if you have to. But, you know, that way you can just sort of experience that disappointment, not in such a public space as the 3rd floor of school. If there's disappointment or if there's joy, right? So on your radar, December 4th and 5th are auditions. Monday and Tuesday, 3 to 5 o'clock. You have to be there the whole time if you're trying out for the cast. If you're trying out for the people who are on the stage singing and dancing and acting. Those same cast people who get cast as roles in the musical, will come to read-throughs on December 11th and 12th, like a week later. Read-throughs are super important because that's when we sit down at a table and you get your script and you follow along through the whole show and we read it all out and I kind of tell you my vision for what's going to happen. And then that way you see really kind of what's going to go on in the show. And then you have your script so that when you go on Christmas break, if you have one of the larger roles, you can maybe start memorizing your lines. You can start learning the songs. The songs are all in digital format and I'll email them all to the students. So you'll have the songs, you can start learning them. Many of them are the same as what's in the movie Frozen, but some of them are a little bit different, like they cut out a part of a verse to try to save time. And there's even a couple of songs that weren't in the movie that are in the musical. So by listening to those digital files a lot over Christmas break and learning your lines a lot over Christmas break, you can come into rehearsals on January 2nd, ready to rock, right? Rehearsals are a big question for everybody. And I'm still talking cast here. Crew, I'm going to talk about in a second. Rehearsals are the first day back from Christmas break. And rehearsals will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday every week, all of January and all of February. If we don't have school, we don't have rehearsal. So there are a couple of, days off and stuff there. So you don't have to worry. If you're out of town or you have a day off of school, obviously there isn't a rehearsal you're missing. In January, rehearsals are a little tricky because every week I look at what I need to get done and it isn't the same every week. So like the first week I might say, okay, on Monday and Tuesday, I need everybody who's in scene 1 and 2. On Thursday, I only need Anna and Elsa. And on Friday, I need everybody who's in the snow chorus. So that means you maybe aren't coming that day every day, right? Maybe it's different that week than it usually is. I can't know that ahead of time because it changes based on how we're doing, right? Maybe we really breeze through something really quickly one week and we're like, oh man, we nailed that. We do not need to do this scene again for a couple of weeks. So every weekend, like on Friday or Saturday at the latest, I'll send all the students and all the parents an email saying, this is our schedule for next week. That's in January. So it's kind of flexible. And I understand that's kind of frustrating. I have 3 kids in 3 different schools, so I get that. If you have a student who you rearrange your schedule and you, instead of picking them up at 3 o'clock every day after school, you arrange your schedule so you're going to pick them up at 5 o'clock every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So they're available. Even if they aren't called for that rehearsal, if they need to hang out in Egan Hall at rehearsal and do their homework, totally cool. Or we'll find something to do, or they'll help somebody else run lines, or, they'll kind of like learn some of the songs and stuff. So if that's a concern, don't worry, your kids are always welcome at Egan, even if we don't really officially need them that day. Does that make sense? However, if I do ask your student to come that day because we need to learn this scene or these bits or this choreography or this song, they need to come. It becomes almost impossible to do this if people start missing rehearsals because it is really a team effort. A lot of times in the choreography, you're working as pairs together to learn parts of dances. And so if you just aren't there and your partner doesn't have somebody to dance with, then they're unable to learn their part really well. And maybe you guys are getting in with another group and then that throws off that group. So you missing a rehearsal is very detrimental to the whole team, bigly. So we say you cannot miss rehearsals that you're called to. Obviously, if you're sick, if there's a family emergency, if there's, oh my gosh, my auntie's getting married on February 9th, I have to miss that day, okay. But if you have piano practice, if you have some doctor's appointment that maybe you could reschedule, if you have, I don't know, violin, if you just don't feel it coming that day, stuff like that, if you can rearrange your schedule, please do. Please do. Because in January, it's messy, but I really need you to be available Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday every week. In February, I really need you. I'll need everybody every day in February, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We have a big vacation in February. There isn't a lot of time. When I started 5 years ago, I swear we had this musical like March 19th. And then it was, March 12th. And this year it's March 5th. And now this year it's February 28th, March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So we have less weeks to rehearse. So we really cram it in there. So you can't miss rehearsals in February. Everyone has to come every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in February. I know ski bus is going to be an issue because some people are in ski bus. I can work around you because I know that's a big deal and you've paid for it and you really want to go on ski bus. I can work around you in January, probably, if you let me know that that's a thing you're doing. But in February, you should just kind of count on skipping ski bus in February. I know that stinks. I know. But it's really a big deal for me. So that's for the cast, right? When you audition, you're going to bring this permission form and it's going to say all this kind of stuff on it too. And it's also going to have a spot where it says, are there any dates you know you have to miss rehearsals? Do you have any obligations other than this play? And you can list those there. Like if I know ahead of time, you for sure have that auntie's wedding. Okay, we'll work around it, right? That's a big deal. So please write those things down. Some people say, well, what if I just have a small part? Can I still go to my piano Tuesday from 3 to 5 and my tutoring on Thursday from 4 to 5? No, is the answer to that, is the short answer. Because small parts usually mean you're in an ensemble, is kind of how people think of that. Like you don't have the big lead roles. But honestly, that ensemble is just so important. Like we can't do this show without the trolls and the snow chorus and the townspeople and the bishop and the guards and, all these different parts that aren't Elsa and Anna are super important to telling the story. You also don't want to be that kid who misses a bunch of rehearsals and then on opening night doesn't know where you're supposed to go or what you're supposed to do. That's kind of awkward and embarrassing. So don't be that person. Besides rehearsals in January and February, we have these two things that we call work parties. Work parties. I had it written down and I've lost it. I feel like it's February 3rd and 10th are the work parties this year. Work parties are like Saturday all day kind of events where the cast and the crew all come. So February 3rd and 10th from like 10 a.m. to, 4 in Egan Hall. And sometimes like 30 people show up. And those work party days are brilliant because we get so much done for the set. So now let's start talking about crew a little bit. The crew is the people who move the sets around and help to build the props and help to build the costumes and help to design the sound and help to figure out the lighting for the show and help to do the hair and makeup. Crew people, you don't need to come to the auditions and you don't need to come to the read-throughs. You can come to the read-throughs if you want, if you just want to hear the story, but you don't have to. Crew people, you're going to have some adult crew leads and they will tell you when you need to come. For sound and lights and sets, you probably don't have to come much in January at all, but will have to come most of the time in February. For costumes, you'll probably have to come a bunch in January and in February. So our head leads for these, Stephanie Glassburn, who has, I think, a couple of younger kids. I'm going to say, 4th and tinier? I'm not sure what age they are, but they're smaller kids than mine. And Stephanie is brilliant, and she's going to help us with choreography. Super excited. Thank you, Stephanie. Aaron Callenquin and David Benefill are kind of my assistant directors. Aaron's and David have both been in tons of real plays, like professional productions, and have theater backgrounds, and are really, really good at helping the students to sort of learn about acting and theater and stagecraft and stuff like that. So they're awesome. Whitney Williams is our our costume designer, and Whitney works as a professional costume designer for Seattle Children's Theater, all kinds of stuff. So I mean, if you saw Shrek last year, you see Whitney knows how to do costumes. She's awesome. Tim Flanagan's helping with sound. He's done that for a bunch of years. He's great. Sean Heron has a couple of kids at school. He's helping to build the sets and paint the sets and stuff like that. Alan Kiat's doing some of the lighting stuff, and Megan Villanueva, our own Ms. Villanueva, is helping to learn some of the music. So I have this awesome team of really, really, really cool, professionally adult people who are going to help the crew learn all this stuff, who are going to help the students to learn how to do this sort of really cool, interesting stuff. And they will contact each of the crew kids to say, hey, we need you this time, we need you that time. Okay? Note to parents, and this is a big note. My youngest kid is now a 7th grader, so that means 7th grade, 8th grade, I'm out of here, right? St. John's, bye-bye. I've been here 13 years, something like that. So I'm not going to leave you all high and dry or anything, but I would really love for more parents, and maybe any parents with younger kids, to get involved with the musical program. This year and next year are great times to do that, because we have this awesome team who would be very happy to have you come and start shadowing and learning how we as the adults build this whole show every year. So if you, or if someone you know has a younger student and who's really interested in musical theater, or your kid is really interested in musical theater or drama, this is a great time for you to volunteer and to try to come this year and next year and kind of learn how we do this, so that you can take it over and have a team of your own. So that's kind of my shameless plug to get some volunteers in there. So for that crew, we teach you tons of stuff. We usually have a couple of crew people who are 8th graders and 7th graders who did it last year, who can help teach the 6th graders how to do the different stuff. And they, like I said, will come sometimes January, all the time February, and of course have to be there for the performances. We do a performance on Thursday, February 28th, during the school day. And that's the one where all the students in the whole school and all the teachers come, and we do it for everybody, and it's really fun, middle of the day. And then we have a show Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon. So Friday and Saturday, March 1st and 2nd, those shows are at 7 p.m. And Sunday, March 3rd, that show is at 2 p.m. So everybody, cast and crew, for sure has to be there for all those performances. For sure. After the Sunday performance on the last day, we strike the set, meaning we break down everything, we get rid of all the stuff we don't need, we give back all the props that we've borrowed, we put away all the costumes, we break down the stage we've built, and we clean everything up so it's essentially like a lunchroom on Monday morning. So that's a thing that everyone in the casting crew is required to help do Sunday after the performance. We have kind of a little party, and we have pizza and stuff too, so it's pretty fun. Oh, Lord, what else? Volunteers, audition form. So I'll put those audition forms somehow where I have a big yellow piece of paper in the 3rd floor of the school. Most of the kids have seen it. A bunch of the kids have written their names down on it for cast and for crew already. Yay! If I perhaps can't read your name, which I can't read a couple of the names, maybe just go back and write it a little clearer if you think maybe you're one of those people, because I have no idea who you are. But I'll put the audition forms there, and the kids can take those home and have their parents help fill it out and have their parents sign it, and the kids will sign it. And that basically says, I'm taking this seriously. I'm going to actively participate in rehearsals. I'm not going to miss rehearsals. And I'm going to do my very best to be a part of this awesome team. I'll put that audition form up probably next week, week after, right after Thanksgiving. I'll put that up. next to that big yellow piece of paper across from Pablo's office. The kids probably know where that is. Other than that, just a big important note for everyone, and I'm almost done talking, is casting isn't a guarantee. Just because you're an 8th grader doesn't mean you get a big part. And I say big parts, a lead role, right? Just because you're an 8th grader doesn't mean you get a lead role. Just because you've done Broadway bound since you were 3 doesn't mean you're going to get a lead role. Just because you think you're really, really deserving of something doesn't mean you're going to get a lead role. But you have to go into this process being willing to accept whatever role you get and being willing to be part of the team. Because those of you who've done this before, you know, being the lead, like last year with Shrek, I don't know if everybody wanted to be Shrek. You might have thought you wanted to, but when you see all the stuff that like that kind of a lead has to do, it might not be for everybody. And it isn't always the most fun role because you're just playing the one person. Whereas the ensemble or the people with a bunch of different roles, you might be a townsperson in the first scene, and you might be a snowman in the 3rd scene, and you might be a troll in the 5th scene, and you might be a guard in the 8th scene. Those kind of roles are actually pretty fun because you get to do a whole bunch of stuff. So there's no guarantee. We're going to cast this based on who shows up and who auditions and how it works best for the whole crew this year, for the whole group, right? We also are a gender blind casting. So if your son tries out and is the greatest Elsa I've ever seen, then he'll get to be Elsa if he wants to be Elsa. Or if your daughter really wants to be Prince Hans of the Southern Isles and they're super perfect for that, then great. Well, I don't care. And everything in between. So just really talk a lot about that with your students who are trying out and prepare them mentally for being part of the team and how that doesn't necessarily mean you're the lead role, right? If we have 30 kids audition, I'm guessing 20 of them will want to be Elsa. And there's one Elsa, right? So instead of having 19 really, really sad people, let's have 19 really, really excited to participate people. Gosh, other than that, if you're on the fence about being in the play, like if you're a 6th grader or 7th grader or an 8th grader and you haven't done this before, if you're like, I'm not sure, this is kind of scary, I'd say go for it because it's really, really fun. And I take into consideration, like if you come into auditions and you're like, hey, Mrs. Aguila, please don't make me Elsa or Anna because that's terrifying. I'm not going to do that, right? I'm not going to make you Elsa or Anna if you really, really don't want to. So if you're just thinking about dipping your toes in and giving it a shot, go for it because it's super fun. It's an intense 2 months of work with a massive payoff at the end. Fame, fortune, everything that goes with it. It's probably the greatest thing you'll ever do in your life. I might be a little bit biased. But if you have any questions at all, or if you're a parent or a grandparent or an auntie or an uncle or something who wants to volunteer and who's interested in this sort of stuff and wants to kind of learn how we do this, please reach out. Please let me know. My email address is a school email address. So it's kaguila@st-johnschool.org, which is KAGUILA@st-johnschool.org. So like a school teacher ending, but with my name at the beginning. Reach out, ask me a question. I'm happy to answer anything you've got. Okay, 24 minutes. I got to stop talking. You guys, thank you for being a part of this. This is going to be an amazing show. It's going to be super fun. And let me know if you have any questions. Okay, thank you.